You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Hey, we're coming here with another great podcast. We certainly appreciate you tuning into the Chris Voss Show family. It's a family that doesn't judge you. What better family is there? We always love you, no matter what you do. Well, as long as you're good to people. If you're a bad person, I know we're going to hold back a little bit. So improve what you're doing. I don't know why I'm shaming bad people at the beginning of the show. I don't know. It's one of those kind of mornings in the show. We have to do something different to make it interesting for you folks. So anyway, the drill. If you haven't gone and joined the YouTube family, press that bell notification button. That really is what envelopes you into the Chris Voss Show family, where you really become part of it. So you have to push the bell notification button so you get a notification of all the great videos we do on here. And I don't know, it's much better. I know the podcast is an audio, but you have to see some of the amazing authors that we have. Their backgrounds are usually amazing too. You got to help Room Raider do their thing. And so you got to do that. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. You can see everything you're reading and reviewing over there. Go see our books as well over there. I think I wrote two. You can also go to all of our groups, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever those kids are playing at, except for Snapchat, for obvious reasons. Talk, let's see the drill. Twitter, you guys know it all. I say it every show. But go follow us over there. Also go follow our major LinkedIn group, 132,000 C Corp business people over there, our C-level business people over there. And our newsletter is killing it on LinkedIn. Insane. So go follow the newsletter that's over there as well. Newsletter, LinkedIn's kind of turned into a little thing. They've even got like something they're copying from Clubhouse over there with the audio rooms. Anyway, guys, be sure to check all that out, subscribe to all the stuff and all that good things. Today we have another amazing, brilliant mind on the show. Brilliant mind. This gentleman's even got a doctor. He's a doctorate. Are those the same thing? I don't know. I never went to college. Clearly I went to public school. Anyway, he's going to be on the show talking to us today about his amazing book. Dr. Nayan Patel is with us. He wrote the book that came out in September 8th, 2020. It's called The Glutathione Revolution. Fight disease, slow aging, increase energy with the master oxidant. And I think I pronounced that correctly. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. But he is an amazing gentleman, and he's come to us today to talk to us about his amazing stuff. He's a sought-after pharmacist, health expert, and thought leader in the industry. Since 1999, he's been collaborating with physicians to develop customized medicine for their clients and design patient-specific drug and nutrition programs. He has been the pharmacist of choice to celebrities, CEOs, and pharmacists or physicians themselves. He recently published his first comprehensive book, the one that we're talking about today, after 11 years of clinical research on the master antioxidant glutathione. He finally shares how powerful and essential it is to the body's detox system. Welcome to the show, Dr. Patel. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thank you. Thanks for having me over here.
Thanks for having me over there. And I'm learning a new word today. Glutathione. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
That is exactly right. Glutathione.
I'm getting there. So welcome to the show. Give us your plug so people can find you on the interwebs.
Okay. We're starting with the plugs first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely. You can get more information about myself and the book and all this information that we have on glutathione at aurowellness.com. It's AURO wellness.com. One website makes it very easy. You don't have to go look for 10 different websites to get the information you need today.
There you go. I kind of introed a little bit, but tell us what did motivate you to write this book.
When I first started the glutathione journey back in 2009, and we discovered the way to stabilize this molecule and deliver it to your body, did a lot of research on it, tried to figure out, and I was trying to explain to my family what I do. And it was just one of those things. There's so many things can be done with glutathione, and at the end I thought, you know what, I am just tired of going to parties with my family and just talk about glutathione all the time, the same thing over and over. It wanted me to say, you know what, I'm sure if my family is that curious, the world is probably curious than them. And after doing all the research, I figured out that I should probably write a book on it and explain to the world what glutathione does. And when the literature, I was looking at it, there was nothing comprehensive out there at this point. And so I figured out that people need to know, once again, what glutathione is, even though it's been available or been discovered for over 100 years.
There you go. So what is it?
Oh, so the glutathione, it's the master antioxidant. It's based on its properties, but it's actually a protein. It is protein that is abundantly produced by human bodies. It's the most abundant protein that a body produces. It's next to water. It's the most abundant molecule in our body next to water, which is, life depends on your body's ability to produce glutathione to survive. And if you look at the molecular structure, it's just a protein, but people don't look at molecular structure. They always ask you, what is glutathione? What they really want to know is, what does it do for you? And so it is, if it reduces the oxidative stress or reduces the sun exposure damage that happens to a body, it's called an antioxidant. If it goes and cleans your liver out, it conjugates with all this metabolites that you eat every single day in your diet that needs to be cleaned out. Now it's a detoxifier. It can help with different processes to help clean your body up. It's an enzyme. So this one molecule has different properties. And so the most common one that people can understand is an antioxidant. And so that's what people, that's the first thing I say to everybody. It's a master antioxidant that's produced by us.
And how do you get it? Like, I just took my L-arginine pill. How do you get access to it? Is it in foods or is this a pill?
Yeah, so the body will, what it does, it will take 3 amino acids, which is from your diet. Glutamine is one of them. It's glycine and cysteine. Those 3 amino acids comes together in a proper sequence with some enzymes that helps glue to this thing together, and that's how the body creates one molecule of glutathione.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And give us an overall arcing view of the book, what some of the details are, and let's get into that, and then I'll have a few more questions for you.
Absolutely. So the book is basically my research that I have found out that is already in the literature. We already have so much literature on glutathione at this point, but then I had to prove it to myself that what is actually working for us. So the book basically has stories and examples on what we have seen in patients while I work with physicians on different diseases and different ailments that people have suffered. It is not incurable, but it's not been properly managed. So we have a lot of stories in there, a lot of examples in there on how we helped a child which had issues that they cannot detoxify them. And of course, they get labeled with spectrum disorder like autism and other diseases. What in reality, what they have is an inability to clean the body out. And by just helping introduce glutathione back in the system, they're able to sleep for the very first time in 7 years. And
really?
Just imagine the mom and the dad coming with the tears down the cheeks. I said, "Oh my God! For the first time, I slept for 7 hours straight."
That's amazing. That's amazing. What do people have, like a deficit of this? I've heard in studying, and people can have like vitamin D deficits. Is this something we're deficit in?
Usually not. Unless you are on a standard American diet, which is called SAD acronym. It's a different story.
Isn't it called McDonald's? I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Overall, I'm in California, and we've been blessed to have so many good fruits and vegetables, fresh organic fruits, and all those things. And overall, people are trying to eat healthier. And from your diet, you're getting all those amino acids that you need to basically produce the glutathione. The problem is not the production of glutathione, I believe. The problem is, I believe, is our need has far exceeded what a body can produce.
Oh, wow.
So I always give an example that, hey, if you live in California where I am, if you make $100,000 a year, you're not going anywhere. Even though the poverty line is still $28,000, you cannot survive in $20,000 in California. Your needs are far exceeded what your ability to produce is. And that's what we're talking about when it comes to glutathione.
You work with a lot of celebrities, and you're basically helping people. Do you help people with their diets? Help people, or not diets, but maybe diets and vitamins, and what they're using as a resource in your pharmacy?
Yes, as a pharmacist, I have access to everything. We have access to prescription drugs, non-prescription items, everything, access to it. So we do not work with celebrities and CEOs directly per se. I mean, my time is so limited that I usually work with their physician. My job is literally help physicians design drug regimens for their clients. And so I'm behind the scenes kind of guy most of the time. Rarely I'll come to the front of the scene when they put me on a speakerphone with the client themselves. That's when I come on the front line. But other than that, I'm usually behind the scenes designing all these different protocols. So we work with physicians directly on the pharmaceutical side. When it comes to the nutraceutical side, it's sometimes it needs both. So it's always beneficial to work with the physician directly to design plans. Even though we can do something on our own, it's not usually the best outcome because you need to have more than one healthcare provider helping you.
Yeah. So this is something people do, huh? They go to physicians and help design their stuff. I've been doing a lot of this in my research when I say research, I don't want to sound like one of those guys. I research stuff on the internet. I try and read and put stuff together and try and understand, do I need more vitamin D in my diet? Weightlifting. I've had to start looking at, okay, how's my testosterone balance? How's the oil doing? Are we full or low on lots of different things? Are we taking a good multivitamin? I'm 54 now. I have more supplements coming out of it's building muscle and just making sure I have all the different things. I recently started taking magnesium and different things to try and make my body work better, build muscle better, retain muscle better. And I've been getting more in touch with everything, reading a lot of different things about different stuff. What makes this a master oxidant, as you put in your book? Why is this maybe better than other things, or what is it better than?
Chris, as you might know, you might not know, our body does not produce vitamin C. They don't produce all the other vitamins usually. They have to get it from outside sources. That's why you eat food every single day. But on the reverse side, your body produces glutathione. It is the only thing that our body produces to keep our body clean and intact at all times. It affects each and every cell in your body, each and every one of them. And so having those glutathione increase in your body, it really helps your body fight with modern day diseases, modern day, I would say, commitments that we have with ourselves on a daily basis, or modern day exposure, because we are exposed to so many different things every day today that we have not had that exposure maybe 20 years ago or 50 years ago. And so our body today is dealing with a whole new set of problems. And only thing that we have right now at this point is glutathione to bring us to the rescue with all this detoxification activation of our body.
Yeah, people like me for a lot of years put a lot of toxins in their system, alcohol being one of them. High amounts of Mountain Dew and sugar, and you name it. I had lots of fun. I didn't have much fun as other people putting some real toxins in their system. I avoided that. But so you have I think a product or something called Oro. Tell us about what that brand is and what that's about.
Absolutely. So Oro is my latest brand that I created away from the pharmacy, and that Oro brand basically sells Glutaril, which is a topical form of glutathione. And with that, I also sell about 10 different supplements, except for one. I take all the other supplements as my base regimen for daily basis. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel over here. I only want to, I want to give people a base foundation that they can jump off. And my foundation, basically, as you said earlier, magnesium has been my cornerstone for over 25 years. I've been taking since I was in college.
Oh, really?
Yes. Besides the vitamin C, I have my besides magnesium, I have my vitamin C, but there's a different form of vitamin C's and vitamin E as essential fatty acids, everything that works together. So Oro is basically the foundation of your vitamin regimen. But on top of that, we have one flagship product, which is the glutathione, the topical form of glutathione that we have patented in delivering glutathione to your body in an intact manner.
Wow.
That is the hardest part to do, by the way, is to give glutathione in the intact manner. And when you asked earlier about how do I work with clients and CEOs and celebrities, they don't have time to do all the research on the internet. And what the research is on the internet is, it's fed to you based on your search histories. And so it's not really a research, it's somebody's opinion that's coming out. And as healthcare providers, we have to read every single day all those research and try to figure out what's the right thing for my patients.
Now, I'm looking at your ROWellness.com site. I'm seeing a picture of Tony Robbins here giving a glowing testimonial. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Tony Robbins, and he's been with us for quite a few years. Of course, we were always behind the scenes originally, until one day we came in the front of the scene, and all of a sudden, the rest is history, as you said.
Yeah.
So
I remember shaking his hand in 1989 when he was first starting out. Just a giant man. I have huge hands, 9-inch span, and my hand just disappeared into his hand when I shook it. He's a massive dude. So if people are interested in taking this product, they can order it from your website, rowellness.com, and it's a topical, so I don't have to be popping pills and stuff.
Yes, it is topical for a reason. And of course, we didn't want to make it topical because as Americans, we are very brainwashed to take everything by mouth. If you tell me to I'll pop one pill any given day. But if it has to go through any other area besides by mouth, and if it's the Europeans, they like everything topical. They want everything go through skin, which is a whole different, it's a whole different, I would say, upbringing, so to speak. But this one had to be topical because as glutathione being a protein, what our body does to proteins, if you eat proteins on a daily basis, what happens to the body? The body will break into different amino acids and then absorb those amino acids and then try to make something out of it. So if you take glutathione by mouth, that is exactly what happens. It will get broken down by your stomach into various amino acids, and those amino acids become the building blocks to make whatever they want to make at that point.
Wow. Yeah, I'm reading some of the reviews on the site. There's one person here with MS. My sister suffers from MS and is in a care center. And then there's somebody else here who has Graves' disease and a woman in menopause at 51. And it looks like you're helping a lot of people. Yeah, and toxicity and stuff. I recently went through the thing with magnesium. It was a high absorption chelated magnesium here with, I believe this is the oxide magnesium. Oh, this is the glycinate. And then I've got the oxide here. I was actually started taking what was the other version that I started taking the other version and realized that I shouldn't be taking on a regular basis. It's for if let's see, your sewer system gets backed up. Yeah. So I was taking that for about a week and then I read up on it and I'm like, I shouldn't be continuing taking this. I think the other two I need to be continually taking. But they've made a real difference. 54, and then I drink a lot of caffeine and a lot of coffee, and so the pipes. I gotta always watch what's going on with my water and intake and stuff. But this is really interesting because I think I take 30 supplements now for testosterone, and I don't take the testosterone itself. I take a lot of herbs that are supposed to support testosterone, and then a lot of muscle building herbs. But I'm always interested. I'm more interested now in what's going on with my body. In fact, one of the things I've started looking into xenoestrogen, I think it is estrogenics or something, where you look at some of the chemicals that are in our shampoos and our soaps and washers and detergents and everything. And I'm playing with that right now. I don't know if there's anything to it, but I'm testing it to see if maybe that'll make a difference in, I don't know, whatever. I'm 54. I'm trying to hold on to my testosterone.
Yes. And you're right. Magnesium, there's so many different brands out there. And the biggest issue magnesium is always that if you take too much of it, it will give it the loose bowel movements. And sometimes that just tells you that the body is not able to accept the magnesium, that the form that you have been given. And so the glycinate one that you're taking gives the least amount of those loose bowel movements. So it gives the body the chance to absorb better so that we can build those levels up again.
So that's pretty good to be taken.
Mag oxide is one of the staple medicine that has been available for eons, and it's been prescribed all the time. But that one raises your level of magnesium as well, but can also gives you the false diarrhea, so to speak, if the level gets too, if you take too much at any given point. So magnesium, the biggest issue is always going to be is that what's the right amount, what's the right salt form you can take so the body can absorb it without giving you the side effects of it. Because once you get the side effects of it, your levels are not high enough yet, but now you can't take it anymore. So,
yeah, the citrate really started making everything move a little too much, a little too fast. Let's put it that way. But yeah, backing off that, and I just use that as support for whenever you got to call in the military. But is there more magnesium I should be taking? I was surprised. There's so many different versions. It's insane.
It is. And it's one of those things that how much magnesium should I take? And there's also another theory on the other side that people get is if you take too much of magnesium, it can induce magnesium deficiency. And the way it does that is because it gives you loose bowel movement. So you lose all the magnesium that you just took plus the one you had in your body.
Oh, wow.
So you have to be, it's a very delicate balance that you have to make it to make sure that the body absorbs it and do not increase your bowel movements to a certain, by any faster than what you normally are.
Yeah, we don't want anything shooting out faster than it needs to.
Yes.
So basically what your RO brand does and this chemical compound glutathione is help the body achieve optimum health and wellness. And where's the thing I was looking for? Avoid oxidative stress. Let's talk about what that is. And then I think your GSH technology that you have that's special.
The oral GSH technology is a technology that we use to create this glutathione molecule. It's a dual purpose thing. If you do not know, glutathione is a glycine, glutamine, and cysteine. Cysteine is a sulfur molecule, and it smells like sulfur. And so the key is if the sulfur smells away, the glutathione has been oxidized, and so it's not a good thing to take anymore if it doesn't smell. So if it smells like sulfur, that means it's still a good product. And the second technology piece is, of course, glutathione being such a large molecule, we had to basically bring it down into smaller molecules so the body can absorb it. And so that's the second part of the technology that we use. And the reason why glutathione is so effective against oxidative stress, let's talk about oxidative stress first. Oxidative stress, I mean, today, more than ever, you've been exposed to pollution, toxins. You are busy working every single day. You're on the go. Your eating habits are not good as you used to be 20, 30, 50 years ago. You don't come home for lunch and enjoy and then go back to work again. You're on a fast food track at this point. And your body has to deal with this every single day. Think about it. And we have the exposure, and then now exposure to all these networks, Wi-Fi. You cannot leave your house without being exposed to magnetic fields, electrical fields. And starting 2022, well, it's always been started 10 years ago, but this year especially, every car maker out there is trying to make electrical vehicles for us. It's bad enough to smoke, to smell gas and get yourself all toxic from the fossil fuels. And now we thought the electrical is going to be safer, but the electrical energy that is produced in the car can also affect our body. And the body is going through some undue stress. And so how are we going to reduce the stress load down? If it's just electronic charges, the glutathione will give up the electron, oxidize the sulfur molecule, and basically absorb the electrical charge and make it neutralized. That's what we do. when you're exposed to sunlight every single day, the sun gets in your face, it produces oxidative stress under your skin, and that's why your skin always ages faster than the rest of your body, because it's constant exposure to the sun. And so the glutathione can reduce oxidative stress immediately upon exposure, so you don't have the toxic oxygen molecules going around in your body. So,
wow.
Pollution. We can go on and on about pollution and all this. The end result is, if we do not take care of those electron charge or the pollution, what are we seeing? We are seeing skyrocket cases of heart disease, diabetes. More than ever before, we are seeing autoimmune diseases. What is autoimmune? Because our body's attacking our own body. We are seeing this at an alarming stage. Today, 1 in 50 kid that's born today has spectrum disorder, like autism. That means the body's the ability to detoxify themselves have diminished. Either that or the exposure have increased. We are not sure where this is going at this point, but the research is telling us that there's something happening to this environment that we are not equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. We're definitely far removed from the cavemen sort of times where we didn't have all these electronics and all this weird stuff going on that could mess with our bio stuff, biorhythms, whatever. So this is pretty interesting. I'm learning a lot of good stuff. What will people notice when they start taking the Aro brand? I noticed you have a skincare line, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we have Aro skincare as well. And we released the Aro skincare brand first. And the reason was because that was an easier one to release, because it's just a skin conditions and people just get the products just for the skin benefits. And it took me another 3 years before I introduced the Aro Wellness brand, because I needed more data with my physicians before I can release the products. Even though we had the products ready back in 2010, we didn't release the product until 2021, 11 years later. And the reason is because I wanted to make sure for myself that I was making products that were actually helping people, actually increasing the glutathione levels, and the doctors are able to see clinical difference in their patients immediately. And so for me, it was not about making a product and just selling a product, but it was making the product, get the data first, learn everything about whatever I can before I introduce it to the public. It's just a humane thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Get it right and before you issue it. What are some other things that we may want to questions that people might have that would be good to answer? Because you probably are used to answering a lot of people's questions. What are some other major questions that you usually get?
The biggest question I get is, there are about probably thousands of different companies out there that sell glutathione today. And they sell anywhere from capsules of glutathione, bar soaps, shampoos. There's the technology of liposomal glutathione that's been out there. Then they have this IV infusion bars all over the country selling glutathione. And then I'm coming in the whole mix with glutathione. So I can go back. I understand the whole business of glutathione because I was one of the pharmacists that used to make intravenous form of glutathione for the whole country.
Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't know this is a thing. I'm discovering a whole new thing here.
And in 2019, we basically decided to close the intravenous glutathione business down because we were ready to launch the topical version, because I truly believe that is far better way to introduce glutathione into your body without getting poked around every single week and have to go to the doctor's office. And it's just cost prohibitive because you're paying anywhere from $45 to $50 a shot, versus you can get the same benefit twice a day, every single day, by just spraying on your body. So the question that I get is, why topical, not other forms? And so I want to just briefly go over that one. When you take oral capsules, the body sees glutathione as a protein, or breaks it down into amino acids. I have a daughter. So if my daughter wants a dollhouse, what I do, I buy a dollhouse. Comes the famous truck comes up, puts it in front of my porch and says, hey, here's a dollhouse for your daughter. It's too big. I can't get to my door. So I'm going to break it down, take it to the backyard, and reassemble the whole dollhouse. And now they can play. It'd be better for me just to buy the raw materials, go to the backyard, and just build it for the first time. I don't have to dismantle it. Or better yet, if you use glutaril, the example of there is that the dollhouse magically appears in the back house, so you're ready for the party. And so what we are saying is that if your body if you consume glutathione from all these different various forms, the body breaks it down into amino acids, and then it tries to recreate it again, but not necessarily is going to make the same product again. And we are depending on our body's ability to produce glutathione, which, as we know, that as we age, our enzymes decreases, our temperature drops in our body too. So the reaction gets sluggish. Like what used to move 20 years ago, at the age of 54, your movement is a little bit sluggish than what you would do at 34. And so your body is not as agile, as fully functional as it used to be at 34. And so what we are saying is that if it's not doing that, the production of glutathione is always going to lag based on your needs. And your needs, by all means, never change until you die.
Oh, wow.
And so your needs never change, but your production is decreased. So now the famous words in 2022 is a supply chain issue. And there's not enough supply for a body's needs at this time. And so it's a game. So when we do the topical version, it bypasses all those things. The patent that we received was received based on our ability to produce glutathione levels in your bloodstream within 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And so that is absolutely a game changer. And when I first tell the doctors that story, the doctor's head starts shaking. I said, "Are you for real? Is this real?" And so, of course, I had to get all my ducks in a row before I launched the company, because I know I'll get a lot of physicians. They'll be asking these questions to me all the time. And even today's date, right before I was talking to you this morning, I got a text that said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about IV glutathione and topical version. Why yours is so superior?" And so this is a daily thing that I deal with it. And I'm hoping that this interview will reach the masses and we get them educated that, hey, if you're going to raise your glutathione levels effectively and safely, there is no other alternative than glutaril at this point, unfortunately.
Can you overdose on this stuff? Can you take too much?
The thing is, there was a study done in 1991, and what they did was they give a huge 2 grams dose and what they found out was 2 things. One, it didn't get absorbed in your blood cells. It stayed in your plasma only. And the second thing, which was the far more worst thing, was that it was out of the blood in less than 14. It only stayed in your body for 14 minutes. The good part was everything ended up in the urine. The bad thing is if you overdose on glutathione, you're just going to make the world one expensive.
Well, that's good. That's always good. Well, I've learned something new and something to add to my thing. When people take, what's the difference between the plus version that you have, the RO plus on your website for glutathione, and the normal version? You have 2 different versions you sell on the website.
2 different versions. So we always had the glutaril as our flagship. That's what we use on all our patients for 11 plus years. We made a stronger version for few people in the beginning. And this was mainly my athletes, my professional athletes. Their needs are a little bit higher. It's a short-lived, they need it for a very short amount of time because they're exercising like crazy and they need to reduce oxidative stress really fast. So we released the extra strength version for them. And then the doctors typically use that strength to help their patients achieve the levels faster initially. And then they switch them over to the glutaril after they reach the level that the doctors are looking for. So the plus is usually used by physicians most of the time. And they start them off with this higher dose to begin with. And within 2 months, 3 months tops, they switch them over to the regular glutaril, and that becomes the maintenance dose for them. So the plus was just released this year as well, and the reason was because now we have a lot of physicians that read the book and now they're interested in the stronger version.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's awesome. Learned something new here today, Doctor. Anything more you want to touch on or talk about before we go? The
other part of the glutathione has always been is glutathione by itself enough for me? That's always a question, right? Because you take probably 20, 30 vitamins every single day. Is glutathione by itself enough? And to me, it's always going to be is that is eating one food enough for the rest of your life? The answer is always no, because you need to have variety in your life. But at the same time, every single day, I don't care what meal you eat, you're going to drink water.
Yeah.
And so I always say that no matter what your drug regimen is, what your vitamin regimen, the base, the foundation for all therapies needs to be glutathione. As the reason is because it is the most abundantly produced in human bodies. And there's a reason for that. We need to fight problems. And we, as a pharmacist, I'm exposed to thousands of medications in my pharmacy every single day. I fill prescriptions like any other pharmacist every single day. I'm still a working pharmacist. And guess what? I see none of the medications actually getting rid of diseases.
Oh, wow.
We're just managing problems. We are not getting rid of problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be in a situation where I can help people get rid of problems, right? You don't want to have a problem just managed. You want a problem to be gone. And as best as we have done with the medication to help our body manage the problems, our body's problem with medication, what I'm saying is that the glutathione is actually empowering your own body to defend itself.
Oh, wow.
So we want glutathione to be a cornerstone for our bodies, because our bodies say, hey, just give me that ammunition. I know what to take care of myself. Do not try to treat me with some medications that then I'll deal with that. And rather, just give me what I need. I have all the guns. I have every single thing. I just need the ammo. And the ammo for our body is, if we can give this thing to our body in the way that they can use it, all of a sudden, we are in good shape, because now the body has the mechanisms and the potential to heal itself.
Oh, wow.
That's where I big stop.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So excuse me. So give us your plugs before we go out, please.
Absolutely. Again, if you need more information, please, aurowellness.com is the best website to go at it. It's AURO wellness.com, WELNESS. Glutathione has many benefits, and if you're looking for skin benefits, of course, you can go to orowellness.com. But I created this whole line because the technology is such that I can combine world's most potent antioxidant and shrink them and give you into one set of creams. And that's what we have done with the skincare. If you have not read my book, The Glutathione Revolution, it is absolutely eye-popping, because one of the best endorsement I got in that book was my professor at USC School of Pharmacy. He's the dean at the university. And when he said that, Nayan, you've done a great job with this book, that's the only endorsement I wanted. And so I'm very blessed to have blessings from my professors, from my schools, to have this book out. And if you don't do anything, read the book. I think it will change your mind on how you treat your body from now onward. The
Awesome.
book can be picked up at any favorite bookstores. Amazon has it. All the bookstore has it. My website has it as well if you cannot find one, and we'll be more than happy to ship it out to you.
There you go. It's been definitely insightful. I've learned a whole lot more, and I've learned a whole new word from my vocabulary.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, Doctor. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
There you go. And to my audience, be sure to check it out. You can order the book anywhere fine books are sold. It's available on Amazon right now. The Glutathione Revolution. Fight disease, slow aging, and increase energy with a master antioxidant, and pretty good. And you can check out his website as well. They order that up. I'm going to be checking out. Also, go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. See the video version of this. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. See everything we're reviewing over there. All our groups: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those places the crazy kids are at, and our LinkedIn stuff that we talked about earlier in the show. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other, and we'll see you guys next time.